Okay, Molly's having a fit right now because the GPS just went off. There's no reason for the GPS to go off. Her collar. Let me see. Okay, now that... Okay. Just now when I looked at it, it shot right back up to 12. But as soon as I turned it on, well, I'm glad. Bless her. Okay. Molly's doing a lot better now that I've figured this part out about her freaking GPS collar. Normally, there are about, I almost always see 10 to 12 GPS, like the satellites, around with her collar. So there's never an issue with GPS. Just now, her collar just went off and I feel so bad for her because not only is she like anxiety dog, but she was right in here doing what she was supposed to do, and she just got up and she was just running around, and so I was getting her to come over so I could like rip this thing off before like the vibration part kicks in. Her being, now that I know her being a little beagle, you have to make sure that she's a little headstrong when it comes to following her nose. She's gotten way better, but because the GPS is screwed up, it used to let me give her a little wider range the better that she was getting. It won't let me do that anymore. Now, no matter how much of a range I want it to have, like it used to let me give her a wider range so she could follow me a little bit longer. I can't do that anymore. It will only let me set it to, I think it's like 3,000, 30,000. I don't know, at the 3. It, like, even if I set it to, let's say, the 5, so she can have a wider range and so she can follow me around more, it will only set it to the 3, no matter what. And that began, it began when everything got real hot and heavy, because I remember Samantha was around when I was testing it out, and no matter what I did, no matter where I was when I set this, it kept going off at the exact same point. So there's something that they've done regarding, like, when, I don't know, when I lose GPS signal, there's something that I've done. And now that I've seen the jammer in action, it makes perfect sense, because they do a little force field thing and I lose complete GPS signal. Motherfucker. And you know what? Seeing Jim, what pisses me off is seeing Jim the first time that he met Molly, I had her collar set up in a way where basically Molly was like negative reinforcing herself, because it was so hard to train her in the beginning. With anything, you could tell she had no direction whatsoever, and her fear of punishment too, and her anxiety. It took a lot to figure out what to do and get her to like trust and pay attention. So basically I was doing something with her collar or her leash, so she was negative reinforcing herself, realizing that she was doing it, that it was beneficial to her to stay by me, and that I was safer. It would, like, when she would get away, it would basically tug in a way where she was hurting herself. The way Jim reacted when because they were in the back, and so they were in the back on their little side-by-side thing when I saw them. And he almost had like a cold reaction on how I had her leash. as if it was like dog abuse type of thing. It's like, oh no, trust me. Oh, and this was after I had Molly for like only like a month. So it's like, and then like he sat with her, and like the fact that he took the time to take that part of the leash off of her, it was very judgmental. I didn't care for it. I didn't care for like that judgment, like as if I was doing something to hurt her when I wasn't. And then the fact that what Jim's doing, it tortures her all the fucking time. Jim's doing that. And he has judgment against me because of how I had her collar. Does that make sense? And he tortures her all the fucking time because he'll jam my signal very randomly. But she needs this because I can't have a fence. Because we've seen the evidence that anywhere where I do have a fence, they'll just run it over. There's no respect. So what do? She has to have a fence. And this is the best method, and she does so well. But she has to. She absolutely has to, because if I go a few days without this, she'll start wandering and start like going, I don't want to, and she'll stop paying attention. So she has to have this. And Jim is fucking torturing her. What a good fucking guy he is, huh? Listen to that. There's another way that I could tell when he's at it and jamming the signal. It's taken lots of patterns to be able to figure it out. And it all started when I bought the new solar lights. Because I had them fucking programmed. The old solar lights, they're going dead. Or the old solar lights, I have to watch my wording. The old solar lights are slowly going unalive. Or they're on their last legs, or like some days, like there's one that it's like it's just barely ticking. But these solar lights are very obvious because they're on a remote. That's related in some way. I really don't care to know. I just know what happens. But it seems to be because these are programmed on a remote. They're more sensitive to it. So frequency, I really don't care. I don't like technology. I don't care to know. They don't work. They put everyone in danger. They bring the predators closer to the chickens, closer to me, closer to the dogs. Susie knows to stay away from them. Molly does not. So that pisses me off. Molly's going to just run right after him. She doesn't know any better. So, anyways. So, with the programmed lights, the one good thing with that is I was able to see they were supposed to be 5 hours continuously on. Suddenly, I noticed that they were off because they were working. I tested one out. That was doing good. I tested a second one out. That one was doing good. And I put one up by my barn. And whether it had to do with them or not, I placed them in a way where long term, because the idea is they're not going to do this all the time. This is eventually going to stop. My idea was that there's a reason not to deal with them on why I have these set up the way that I do. And it's in accordance of one, the animals, also where I do stuff after it gets dark. So I don't have to like hold on to a flashlight. So Also, where predators tend to be. And if Susie wanders, where she maybe wanders, because if I don't see her, Susie has a tendency, I could locate her if she sets off the motion detector. That used to always work. But now Susie's scared to go out in the back anyways. So fuck them. Fuck them. They need to suck a whole bunch of dirty assholes. That's what they all need to do. With like kibbles and bits and nastiness all attached. They need to suck it. Suck it all. Suck big, fat, dirty dicks is what they need to suck. Every single fucking one of them. They all need that. So you know what? Once they pay, they won't be my neighbors anymore because they're all going to be in fucking jail. And you know what they're going to get? I want all their houses. All their houses because they won't be my neighbors anymore. That's what I'm going to get. For all the fucking hell that they've put me through, all the flare-ups, all the days that I haven't been able to move, all the scrambling, all the torture that they've put the animals on, all the stress, all the fucking mess that they've like messed up with the yard, all the plants that I have like put so much time and effort and money, because there are some with the flowers that got paid for, and perennials are not cheap. So, to some it's not a big deal. To poor people, it does. Anyways, because long term is to make everything beautiful and wonderful. And the kicker of it, a lot of it was planted for Jim's wife, because she used to walk the property all the time, and it was like a little bit of like a fun thing of like a surprise for when she walked so she could see it. And fuck her. She needs to suck a whole bag of dirty dicks. A whole bag of them. Fuck her too. Fuck all of them. They all fucking need to go to jail, and I'm going to get all the properties down this way. That's all going to be fucking mine. If they can't pay me back for all the torture they have fucking put me in, all the nights I haven't been able to sleep, the months I haven't been able to drive, I have probably driven less than 10 times, I would say. Less than 10 times, probably since July. I seriously don't think that I have driven more than 10 times. Thanks to them. All of them. Because I haven't been able to. I have been a wreck. And especially to save Susie. Fuck them all. And fuck Porter County Sheriff. They could have stopped this from the very beginning. Fuck them all. They have taken away my safety. They have stripped every single safety measure that I could possibly have. They have stripped it all away. And it could have all been stopped. Every bit of safety. They like my phone signal, my internet signal, my lights, my health, my strength. They strip it all away. Whenever I do anything to protect myself, they punish me. I call, when I can call, I call 911. They threaten the fucking shit out of me, so I am terrified. They spy on me. When I am out there, and in these videos, I'm going to post some videos for you. I am outside. I am outside for not even 5 minutes. And you'll see, I go to set up a little camera right at my driveway. And you can see them right away. Hovering and ready to blast shit at me. I have Oh, and after we leave, and I very, and I'll give me this because I can't seem to figure it out. The timestamp keeps fucking up. The good side is that Maui and I had just come back from dinner, so I know the time frame on that. But I set that little camera up, and did I set that up? No. Yeah, okay. I set that up after we came back from dinner. And then a tree had fallen, and I have a little sensor that goes off when people go up my driveway, because my driveway is really long. And that happened to be the tree that fell. So I was putting it just on a tree for the time being, so I know when people are coming up. Those paranoid fucks. That's how I can tell. I think that they think that that's a camera. Because that fucking thing goes off all the fucking time. They're blasting that thing all the time. They never used to fuck with like up front. I know that because I have a day where I set up the deer cam. That thing went off all night. And it's cute because there's tons of like squirrels. There was a squirrel. It's cute. There was a squirrel that showed me its nuts that it was holding in its mouth. It kept going up to the camera. It kept going up to the camera, and it kept like showing me nuts that it had in its mouth. So it was really cute all night. But there was a second night that immediately they physically tampered with it. Actually, you can see it. And every night since, and you could see it on my big cameras, they are monitoring. They're going up and down the road. And on my little thing, you can actually see there was two different ones that I saw. They are going up and down the road. Specifically for me. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? I've caught on my camera, they are specifically shooting stuff. They wait specifically for when it gets dark to go to shoot those fucking laser things specifically at me. What the actual fuck? So no, it's not a big grand scheme. It's people who literally have nothing else better to fucking do. What the actual fuck? All the fucking neighbors. I know there's more people involved. It's a whole little game. Let's just spy on the girl. Well, I say girl, me, old lady, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, like I used to have more freedom in the back. More organic, hippie-esque, but it's... And I would be fine with it. But honestly, there's slimy creepiness. I don't want that staring at me. Like yesterday, I was burning up. Not yesterday, but the day before, I was burning up. And I wanted to take my clothes off so fucking bad. But I could tell they're staring at me during the day, too. I could tell because I'm hearing the sensor going off all the time. So I know they're watching me during the day. I can't see it during the day, and also because of my migraines, there's no way I'm going to stare up at the sky during the day anyways. But I was burning the fuck up, and I just wanted to strip off enough layers where I would have been rather exposed. But I couldn't, because I know creepy, slimy people are staring. And I already get it, big brother. I don't fucking care. But slimy, gross. No, I'm not going to let them stare. Where they're doing like Beavis and Butthead laugh, like, boobs. You know, where they're like jerking off all nasty. That's what no. Fuck no. There's my venting. They need to just suck each other's dicks. Fuck them all. Fuck them all. They've put all of us in so much danger. They have just trapped us in such a fucking hell that on beautiful fucking days, I waste. They flipped upside down my whole world. They've put me so close. What sucks is they know my health, especially Jim and Janet, and they don't fucking care. I reached out for help. Let me say that again. I reached out for help. They know how sick I've been. They know. They've like rented out the back part for like a few years. I knew something was going on. Actually, before I knew of, because I have a feeling there's been trespassing before like everything exploded. I'm certain this shit's been going on for a while. I just wasn't aware. I suspected something was up when when last year I had some really bad adrenal crises. I had some really bad adrenal crises, and I had surgery, and it put me out for a really long time. And I couldn't maintain the back trails hardly at all. And then like my mower broke, and then and my tractor wasn't working, and my bush hog broke and all that stuff. I mean, I was really having a time. This year hasn't been any better, but at least like I had equipment that worked. And so at least I had my bush hog. That's all I could say is, so the bush hog at least could just plow right through. So I could it's like all I needed was one day to at least make enough progress. And so I could chip away better, more efficient. But Jim would do some of the trails for me. And that would mean so much. And make me feel like I wasn't quite so alone. And it would just mean the fucking world. But I noticed this year, he didn't do any. He would stop right at the line that kind of we created of like, okay, this is the line. And he never went further. And I knew it. I knew something was up. And so when we would talk, when we would like run into each other and we would talk, he goes, yeah, I haven't been doing it because, and like he said, like if he like has someone come to the trails, he just didn't want anyone to go over the line. And I said, oh, I figured that, yeah, okay, but it's like deep down, I knew that wasn't right, because he has a way of, he looks kind of down, like almost like bashful. And so, and he gets like a little smirk on his face. So it's like, I know he's lying. I totally know he's lying. He gets this bashful type look on his face. So I know for sure he's lying. And I'm going to make sure, I'm going to text him, because I just can't keep it quiet. But he knows drones aren't allowed on the property, but I'm going to make sure to recap and confirm with him. Because I know when officials go, well, we just want to make sure that you know. And so he doesn't go like, well, I didn't know. I'm going to make sure to recap and go like, oh no, he knew. He knows. So there's my vent. And there's my moment. Videos to follow whenever I have a signal.